Hey everyone, it's Clara and I'm back reviewing another board game, another one of the escape roomy, puzzly type games, and in this case it is Unlock Heroic Adventures. So this is the third Unlock I have played, Unlock box I've played, and so and I've reviewed one of them and I wasn't necessarily that positive. So what was I about this one? Well, let's find out, shall we? Okay, so the Unlock games, what are these? So these boxes, these collections, they have 3 different games. Each one takes... Interestingly, it says an hour on the box, although the last one, actually, the timer sets for an hour and a half, so it's not an hour at all. There you go. And they're 3 puzzly escape room type games. You need an app to be able to play them. And each one of these stories, it's not 3 chapters, they're 3 unique stories. And this is the third collection I've played. The first one had some okay games, but I wasn't bowled over. The second one was the Star Wars version, which I was really disappointed by. For someone that loves Star Wars, it didn't do anything for me. So how do I feel about this collection? I'd heard that this was the best so far, so, I thought, well, why not try it? One thing that I will say is that whilst you do use some of the things, in this case you bend a couple of cards, but they're not cards that go into the deck, so you could potentially sort of resell it, reuse it, if that's what you're interested in, because they are single use. I will say that I played them solo, just because current climate, it's the only way I can really do it, and so that will in some way impact on how I review this. But at the same time, I'm thinking back to the first Unlock game that I played all 3 of the puzzles with my friends. So the first one is this sort of 8-bit type art. It's a co-op. I mean, the art's cute, but the puzzle just bored me. There was nothing interesting in it. It was just very much like shuffle through the cards, notice things. Shuffle through the cards, notice things. It's with the Unlock games, I feel that a lot of it is just noticing things. It's not working out stuff all the time. It's just noticing it, and it feels kind of like just, I don't know. I feel like I'm just going through the motions. I'm being played by the game rather than me playing the game. And the first one was very much like that. Which is a real shame because, if you open this and it's like that, jades your opinion of the whole bunch. So what about the other 2? Well, the Sherlock Holmes one was the second one. Now, this one actually really reminded me of Chronicles of Crime. So if anyone's played Chronicles of Crime, it's kind of a detective board game. So heads up, I've played Chronicles of Crime and I found it boring. The puzzles weren't puzzly enough, and as I've sort of talked about with the Unlock game, I felt like the game was playing me. I actually thought that this Sherlock Holmes Unlock one did what the Chronicles of Crime does, but better, only it was more using a deck of cards rather than sort of relying on the app. And it was more interesting. I enjoyed it a little bit more. There was a little bit of a story, you had a little mission, a little bit more open-ended, and it was definitely... I'd say of the ones that I've played, it was one of my favourite ones. But I still felt like it was a case of you've got to notice stuff or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why it is that with the exit games, I know you've got to look for stuff and notice stuff sometimes. But with these, it feels like that is the mechanic, is noticing stuff. And it's different. But then, maybe that... I don't know. The third game was the Alice game. So I should say that this was rated 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, and 3 out of 3 in terms of hardness, whatever that means. The Alice in Wonderland one was definitely my favourite Unlock game. It's definitely the best one that I've played, and I feel like there was a few more bits. Felt a little bit more puzzly, maybe a little bit less. That you've just got to notice stuff. but because it plays quite differently to all the others in certain ways, once you've already played 2 that you're doing a certain thing, then, you've got to sort of change gear for the 3rd one. Now, that's not a bad thing, but it's just something to point out. I think if it was just the Alice one on its own, or maybe even these 2, I'd feel a lot better about these games. But for me, they just, even with the Alice one being the best one, I still didn't, there was nothing that I was like, oh, that's cool, that's unique, that's clever. There's one kind of neat thing, but I feel like I've already seen that in other games. I've seen it in exit games that come out before this one, potentially. Which is a real shame, I suppose, but there you go. So, yeah, I mean, this is the best of the 3 Unlock box collections I've had. You still need the app. So that's an important thing. I think you probably enjoy them more if you're, if there's 2 of you or so. But I still think that these ones are, I think that they'd be more enjoyed by, I don't know, like with your family, with young people. And in fact, actually, I'm going to be giving a copy of this game to my niece because I think my niece will get a kick out of it. She's 10. She's got a very logical brain. I think she'll really enjoy it. I think I'm probably just looking for more of a puzzle. And whilst the Unlock games, the exit games, some of them are more complicated than others, they still seem to, there's always something that I think is clever. There's always something that I'm like, oh yeah, I love the way they've done that. I never get that with these Unlock games. I can't imagine I'll ever play another one of these Unlock box games because I just, I've played 9 scenarios now and I've always just been like, meh, at the end of it, Even though this one was my favourite one. And some of these IPs I love. I love Alice in Wonderland. I love Sherlock Holmes. And I loved, there was another one that was Dorothy. And the Star Wars ones. I love that IP. Why did I not enjoy it? It just left me feeling meh, So, I don't know. I think there'll be a lot of people that do enjoy them. I watched Tom Vassel's reviews on the Dice Tower, and he thinks these are getting better and better, whereas he feels that the exit games are getting. He's over them, and I'm very much the opposite way. I feel like I've seen the Unlock games, but the exit games, I feel that they still keep on keeping it fresh in some way. And so yeah, I've got no intention of buying any more of these Unlock games. Who knows, obviously, but I think that I'd rather spend my money on other games, and particularly the exit games and the adventure games from Cosmos. I just think that they're better. So they were fine to play, but yeah, I'm pretty much done with the series, I think. So that's a shame. In the same way that Space Cowboys with Time Stories started out with such promise, but then I just ended up feeling let down. Well, I feel like they've done the same thing with the Unlock game, so that's a shame. It's a good game. It's fine. I think it would be better with younger people. So not for me, but maybe it's for you. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon. Bye.